I'm going to start by apologizing. We are going to be pausing so much in this music video because it is so heavy with symbolism. Let's first start with the cassette tape. Kim Lip is holding it here, much like Vivi held it in Everyday I Love You. If you noticed, the camera focuses on the left side of the cassette and it spins counterclockwise. This is important because, when you begin a cassette tape, it should spin clockwise to have a normal playback. Anyways, as we know, the cassette was seen with Vivi. This connects the odd-eye girls with her right from the start. We know that Vivi rescued Jinsool, and we also know Vivi has an odd eye as well. Throughout Girlfriend, we will find more evidence connecting them, and concluding pieces of the Loona lore. Let's also discuss the obvious parallel to Eclipse. At the end of Eclipse, we see someone look behind the wall. In both videos, it moves the same way. But when Kim Lip turns, her direction differs. Could this mean that Kim Lip has looped around the Mobius strip planes? Perhaps that's why everything is flipped. Kim Lip also turns and smiles, as if she's anticipating the person who's watching her. She then runs, coinciding with her superpower, super speed. Let's see if she can catch up to whoever she's chasing. Before we discuss the map, let's discuss the directional transitions between the girls that we just saw. First, Kim Lip turns her back, then we see Jinsool. This indicates that they are on the same side of the Mobius planes, and presumably on the odd-eye circle plane. For visionary purposes, let's say that they're on the A side of the Mobius strip. This greatly differs from the way Cherry was introduced to us. She is flipped upside down, seen looking at the map. Why is that? Well, let's first recall the mirror layouts in Love Cherry Motion. We have already observed that Cherry's mirror image that dropped the cherry through the mirror was Yeonjin. And the cherry looking down into the mirror was the true Cherry, not just the indistinguishable mirror image. We also saw Cherry hanging upside down on a wooden swing. I didn't make commentary on it then, as it wasn't important until now. The Cherry sitting on that swing is wearing the outfit the Cherry that was with Hassel and Yeonjin wore. This indicates that this is actually Yeonjin. So, by Yeonjin sitting upside down on this swing, we can confirm that the upside down Cherry in the mirror was in fact Yeonjin, looking at Cherry from the other side of the plane. And by this reasoning, we can infer that the Cherry we see now with the map is actually the real Cherry, not Yeonjin. This camera pan just alludes to Cherry being a mirror image of Yeonjin. Now, let's talk about the map. There is a bunny, cat, bird, and deer sticker at the top right. This, to me, represents a key for the map, if you will. It indicates that all of the girls Cherry is looking for are on this side of the Mobius plains. We all know that these animals represent Heejin, Yeonjin, Hassel, and Vivi. So where's Yeonjin? BBC stated she was lost in the forest. Is no one trying to find her though? There is already an owl and fish sticker on the map, in the same area. This means that Kim Lip and Jinsool have been found. Who is Cherry trying to find now? Again, there was a lot going on in those few scenes. Let's break it down. First, we see Jinsool turn around to see who could be behind her. That's something we'll see frequently in this music video. It seems to be Jinsool looking for her other odd members. We next see Kim Lip running. Again, this is most likely in pursuit of her fellow odd members. The most significant lore development in these scenes are Cherry and Yeonjin's. Let's first look at where we see Cherry. It's at a little pop-up carnival. Behind her is a Ferris wheel, the one place Yeonjin stood in front of in Sonadine. Not to mention that the Ferris wheel coincidentally has yellow support beams. Cherry then looks at the Ferris wheel and places the cat sticker down on the map. Cherry has found Yeonjin's location. She then gets blinded by a mirror, only to find that the one who shined it on her was herself? No, it actually wasn't herself. It was Yeonjin. Remember, the mirror image is indistinguishable from the original on a plane with Mobius properties. This scene where Cherry talks to herself is, as you may have guessed, Yeonjin talking to Cherry, with her odd eye wide awake. The lyrics go, "Oh boy, since the moment I opened my eyes, the person that instantly comes to mind is you." Not only is this symbolically referenced when Cherry winks her right eye, and also opens her right odd eye, but if we think about it in tangible terms, it makes sense. When you first awaken, the first thing on your mind is mostly yourself. Perhaps what you will do today, or what you want to eat, or that you need to wash your hair. Yeonjin's other half is, quite literally, Cherry. Of course, the first thing that she thinks of when she awakens is going to be her mirror image, her opposite. This is illustrated in the fact that Yeonjin literally tells that to Cherry. After Cherry was seeking her on the plane, she finds Yeonjin, and Yeonjin tells her this. The yellow truck appears again. The last time we saw it, it was in Let Me In. In that video, we knew it symbolized Yeonjin and was heard bringing hassle into the LOONAVERSE. This time, we see it flying down the road, and then we quickly see Kim Lip running with her super speed. This, in my opinion, is Kim Lip trying to track down the primary girl that her and Jinsool were made with before Heejin needed her. Kim Lip was after Yeonjin. But why? Oh! Look, Yeonjin's frog is actually on the map. But it looks to be on the other side. Again, going along with the key for the map that I talked about earlier, I'm assuming that this frog being on the opposite side means that Yeonjin is on side B of the plains. She's lost anyways, so the sticker's placement could just be in the middle of the woods or something. It clearly is separated from the rest of the stickers for a reason though, which is that she's nowhere near the other girls, and no one has any idea where she is. The last person to see her was Yeonjin alongside Hassel in Love Cherry Motion. Cherry has her hands full with the map, and there's a mirror at her feet. Cherry then throws the map from left to right, the same direction that Yeonjin fell on the bed. It then lands at the feet of Cherry again. But who is who? Okay, let's use context clues to break it apart. The first one is the mirror. We saw the Cherry behind the Ferris wheel, who we know is actually Yeonjin. Used the mirror to distract the true Cherry that was seeking Yeonjin. The Cherry that throws the map has her hands full, folding and throwing it into the sky. So of course she would set down her mirror so her hands would be free. Yeonjin is the one that throws the paper plane. Yeonjin also was present in Let Me In, and she threw that plane too. The plane flies from our left to right, just as Yeonjin fell onto the bed and left Cherry motion after eating the cherry, prompting the real Cherry to enter the Loonaverse. Yeonjin's job is to basically make sure Cherry gets where she needs to go in order to be with her odd counterparts, and by eating the cherry, distracting with the mirror, and throwing the paper airplane, she can do just that. First, we see Jinsool turning around in a bunch of different locations. Thanks to her superpower, transportation, Jinsool is able to go to different places quickly in order to find her other odd members. When she finally sees them, they all come together and hold hands, watching their moons finally merge. The camera pans to Jinsool, then Kimlip, then Cherry. But we end up seeing Cherry again after the odd girls see their moon. Why? I believe that extra cherry clip thrown in, which is identical to the one we see prior, is to highlight Yeonjin. After all that Yeonjin has done in order to unite the red and blue girl with their creation, purple, the mirror image of the yellow girl, she can finally see them happy. Also, side note, doesn't the moon look like it has a little bit of yellow in it? Perhaps it's just the illumination, but it, like all other symbolism in Loona videos, it doesn't seem coincidental. I would also like to point out the colors of the jackets Kimlip and Jinsool wear. They have red, blue, and yellow coloring on them, and black and white. These represent the primary girls, and the colors they spread in the Loonaverse in order to add the other girls. Like I say, nothing BBC does is coincidental. Okay, how can the last 40 seconds hold so much significance? Let's cover the last bit of this music video. Let's just quickly bring up the bracelets that the odd-eye girls wear in the music video. They're twisted to allude to a Mobius strip. It's just a little stylistic choice they made. I want to talk about this parallel of Let Me In when Kimlip shoots herself. It looks almost identical to the scene where Hazel takes out the dove. This, alongside the illuminated left eyes that Hazel and Kimlip share, connects them. In Let Me In, at the exact moment she shoots the bird, Hazel says, "The moon rises, and I'm becoming you." That's interesting. The odd-eye circle moon has just risen. And it would make sense if Hazel mirrored Kimlip, for red and green are opposite the color wheel as well. Remember the scene we saw in Sweet Crazy Love? We saw the dove, the butterfly, and the owl. This could have alluded to the third and sixth girls' connection. And owls represent wisdom and knowledge, something that Hazel was seeking in Let Me In. When Kimlip shoots her back, she says, "My heart beats, cool." Perhaps this is the heart that Hazel wanted to infiltrate. Jinsool turns, and then we see a quick flash of Yeonjin? Yes, it most definitely is our last primary girl. In this scene, her image is mirrored. Her shirt is backwards. This again alludes to her mirror characteristics, as we again see her blind Cherry with the mirror once more. After we see all of that imagery with Yeonjin, the odd girls sit around a map. Cherry points out the owl sticker on the map. This again ties up all of the Cherry watching Kimlip questions. Of course Cherry would know where Kim Lip was if she was in fact the one watching her. Also, those red circles on the map are in the exact same pattern as the mirrors in the meadow from Love Cherry Motion. As we recall, there were 12 mirrors. 12 mirrors for the 12 girls. If Cherry was able to transcend through the mirrors, and land in the place where the mirrors acted as portals between the two sides of the Mobius planes, then Cherry pointing to the L sticker must indicate that that specific mirror and area was where Kim Lip was located. If this is true, then we can assume that where Cherry placed the cat sticker is the mirror and portal for Yunjin. The same must go for every girl, since there are 12. And of course the primary mirror girl would have knowledge about the mirror powers, for Yunjin and Cherry are technically one being existing in two different planes. We then see various looping images of the odd girls, showing us the characteristics of the Mobius loop. Then, there is also a girl running around the odd girls. Who could she be? Now that she's there, does she know the truth about the opposite sides of the Mobius planes? We then see Kim Lip peek at her backside, again showing the looping properties of the Mobius planes. The mirror image is indistinguishable from the original. And, once you loop around the entirety of the Mobius, your image will be flipped. If you didn't catch it, there was a small snippet of the cassette player being flipped, showing the left side still moving counterclockwise. But, at the end, after we see Kim Lip look at herself, the cassette tape stops, and then turns clockwise on the left side. As I stated earlier, if you want to rewind a tape, you will turn the left roll clockwise, which is exactly what we are seeing Kim Lip do at the end. This illustrates an eternal, endless loop, much like the properties of the Mobius strip. If we were to begin the music video again after this rewind, Kim Lip would go back behind the wall, but the other Kim Lip would look at the Kim Lip who now is behind the wall. Let's rewind the clip. The Kim Lip we see peer from behind the wall would actually go back behind the wall. This means that once she is behind the wall, she would be standing with her back turned to the other Kim Lip, who was the one previously standing with her back to the peering Lippy. It's a continuous loop, and with every rewind of the cassette, the chase resets. Now, finally, the odd girls are together, their moon is complete, and their colors are now in the LOONAVERSE.
뭐야? Loona.